start with the radio area? Because back in the day, that's where we all got our start.
We made sure our staff one-man band line shots, rock shots. And if you had to, she was arguing that
I convinced right out of college to hire and so the bar was already kind of high there, and so I figured for what NBCT I had one
hey, we're getting ready to start. No. Thank you, sir. I'm sorry, I'm headed your way. Oh, okay. That's all right. You want to take a couple of quick? You can.
Is everybody in, Bruce? My name is Steve Sheldon. I'm the sheriff here in Richland County. Welcome to our news conference. We have some sad news that we want to share with the media and the people that are standing here. U.S. Marshal Pete Elliott, Richland County Prosecutor Gary Bishop, Captain Eric Rapp from the Shelby Police Department, and Captain Don Zahner, our Patrol Bureau Commander for the Sheriff's Office. There are also dozens of people in the back of the room from various agencies that were all involved in this investigation and continue to be involved in this investigation. It's with all their help and support that we have come to the point where we're at. The Shelby Police Department took a report of a missing person on February the 25th, 2021 at 12:36 p.m. The person reported missing was Melinda Kay Davis, age 33. Davis was driving a black 2013 Volkswagen Jetta, Ohio plate JGZ8921. She was on her way to 592 Cliffside Drive, Mansfield, Ohio, earlier that morning and had not been heard from. Shelby Police asked the Richland County Sheriff's Office to check the residence to see if she was there. She was not, nor was her ex-boyfriend, John Henry Mack Jr., date of birth March 22nd, 1977. Her black Jetta also was not there. The Sheriff's Major Crimes Unit obtained a search warrant for the residence, which was then executed. The Ohio Bureau of Identification and Investigation was called to the scene to process the scene. Based on their investigation and collection and processing of evidence, and after consulting with the Richland County Prosecutor's Office, detectives obtained an arrest warrant for John Henry Mack Jr. for kidnapping, Ohio Revised Code 2905.01B1. After 18 days of searching for Melinda Kay Davis, we received a phone call on February the 14th at 6:15 p.m. from the Columbus Police Department, who had located the black Jetta with the same license plate at 5690 Zachary Court, Galloway, Ohio. Major Crimes responded. The vehicle was brought back to Richland County to be processed by Ohio BCI. Melinda Davis's body was located in the trunk of the vehicle. Richland County Coroner's Office and Dr. Burwell responded to the scene. Melinda Davis was transported to Montgomery County for an autopsy this morning. Assisting agencies in this investigation: Shelby Police Department, United States Marshal Service, Ohio State Patrol, Ohio Bureau of Identification Investigation, Ontario Police Department, Richland County Prosecutor's Office, Richland County Coroner's Office, Mansfield Police Department, Columbus Police Department, Richland County Children's Services, and the news media, and various citizens who had been involved in trying to locate this vehicle and her person. We're going to let everybody speak first, and then after that we'll take questions. Marshal, would you like to go?
Thank you, Sheriff. I'm just going to be brief. You know, our heart goes out to Melinda and her family today. We're very sad by this. They'll be in our prayers. And I want to personally thank the sheriff for his leadership, and also all the law enforcement officers all standing back there. They didn't stop working since day number one, and didn't sleep since the beginning. And you know, again, a sad day for all of us today. And you know, she'll be in our thoughts and our prayers. Probably the best thing that the suspect did for us was to boast how her body would never be found. And we don't know the determination of all the people standing back. So, thank you.
Prosecutor Bishop?
I really have nothing to add. I want to send out our office's condolences to the family. Victim Advocate Division obviously will be working with them in the coming weeks. And I want the family to know that our door is open and we'll be there to help you through this process as best we can. I also want to thank the various law enforcement agencies, and most of them have been mentioned. This was amazing hard work. It was everything from technology to door walking and foot pounding, old-fashioned work combined with new technology. The last thing I want to say is this case is only just beginning. There's been obviously a development in the case that was worthy of this press conference. However, I want to stress that the investigation is not concluded. There's still a lot of work to do. The people have been working so hard so far. We'll continue to do that hard work and get this case put together for my office to review. Thank you to all the law enforcement agencies that worked so hard to bring this to this point.
For the Sheriff's Office this morning, my Chief Deputy Major Joe Massey and Captain Zahner met with the family member at the Shelby Police Department with Chief Lance Combs. And I don't know if somebody wants to comment. Captain Rouse here on behalf of Chief Combs. Joe, do you want to say anything about? So the family was notified this morning before we did this press conference, so they were aware of what was going on. We will entertain questions at this time.
Sheriff, John Henry Mack still charged with only kidnapping?
That's a question for the prosecutor. At this time, he is still incarcerated in the Richland County Jail, and that is the charge. That's one of the charges he's in on.
Yes, he remains charged with kidnapping. He's also charged with receiving stolen property for an unrelated matter. Obviously, the charges and the number of charges will be determined at a later date once this investigation is fully completed and submitted to us. But to answer your question, those are the current charges.
Has he pleaded guilty at all, sir?
No, sir.
Or innocent, anything like that?
No.
Did he help lead you to the vehicle in Columbus?
Can't comment on that.
How did the police in Columbus come upon the vehicle?
My understanding is they got a tip from a citizen in that area and acted on it.
A tip of what? Can you say a strange car or
They got a tip about the car.
a car that matched the description of the one you were looking for?
They got a tip about a car.
Sir, I know that two of Mr. Mack's relatives were also charged, I think obstruction or something like that. It was relative in this case. Is that still the case? Are there likely to be other people who are part of this investigation?
Those two individuals are still charged. They will continue to go through the process. It's too early to determine if other people will be involved.
Is that aiding and abetting or harboring?
It's obstructing justice.
Can someone talk about the condition of the body? What injuries did she suffer? Can you
As the
talk-
sheriff indicated, the body is pending autopsy in Montgomery County. It would be premature to comment at this time.
What did they find in his house that led to the kidnapping charge, or about what was found?
Primarily blood.
Do you believe that's the location of the murder?
I'm not going to comment on that. The case is still subject to review.
Is there any indication of how long the car had been in the location where it was found?
We don't have that information at this time. This is still ongoing. There's a lot of work to be done. There are a lot of reports to be generated and reviewed. So our information is somewhat limited at this point.
Any aspect as to how she may have died, gunshot, knife, anything like that?
We are awaiting autopsy results. As I indicated, it would be premature to comment at this time.
And talking to family, what are they saying?
We have not spoken to the family yet. They were just notified by the Sheriff and Shelby Police Department this morning.
Pete indicated that, he said that, you'd never find the body. Is that the only thing that he said about the body?
Yeah, that is all I was told.
And you said that motivated officers to...
Well,
go there?
you know, whenever you have somebody that's missing, it's always gonna motivate us, so, you know, their teamwork was outstanding, and they didn't sleep for however long it's been, and they worked through this thing, and I'm very proud of them.
Any indication of what led up to this?
I'm taking that as a question about motive. We're not prepared to comment on that at this time. It's too early.
How long had they been estranged, or were they estranged? That he was listed as an ex-boyfriend. Any sense of how long they have been estranged?
I don't think anybody up here has that at their fingertips right now.
And it's been publicized, and maybe, I don't know if Captain is willing to address this again. We talked earlier about the fact that she made a phone call, Melinda made a phone call or a text, communicated in some way with a friend as she was arriving at Mack's address with a rather cryptic message. Can you address that? Okay.
Shelby should be able to do that because they did the original report in reference to that phone call.
All right.
It's basically what the sheriff read before, that the Shelby Police Department was notified, and we asked a lot of assistance from the Richland County Sheriff's Department, and it's been an effort by many agencies since then. You know, I think one of the things that we can say, and I think everybody's has said this, you know, there's still a lot of investigation that goes on in this, and there's certainly, the car was just found last night. The autopsy is just being done this morning at Montgomery County Coroner's Office. We have a lot of questions too, but we wanted to do a news release because we felt it was important for the public to know, for the media to know, and we're hoping that in the next few weeks we'll be able to put out much more information. The information that we have today is very limited, but it was important for us to get it out. The fact that we've located the car, we've located the body. Now there's a mountain of work to do to get this thing resolved, and we are looking forward to working with all these agencies and getting this thing resolved for the family. And again, I think our condolences very, very much go out to the family. It's a very, very sad day. So we're hoping this brings closure a little bit to the friends and family. And please keep them in your prayers.
Anything similar to this happened recently in the county?
I think the prosecutor can talk about this a little bit. I think this is, without saying too much about this case, you know, obviously we are all very concerned about domestic violence in this county and in this country. And there has been other domestic violence cases that have ended tragically. And, you know, we very much are aware of that, and that's why we have victims assistance, and the state of Ohio has victims assistance, and we really try to strive for this very, very much. It is not the only case, I don't think, in the past year, and I don't know how many cases you want to comment on.
I don't know that it's appropriate to comment on specific cases. We have had a number of cases. The one thing I would say is we've had a number of cases where the lead up or the prior history did not rise to the level of a felony and was therefore not brought to my office, because my office handles felonies. There have been a number of instances where we were not put in a position, or were law enforcement, to do anything to protect those individuals, either because it was not reported or because the allegation was recanted. We're not here to pass judgment on those facts. We're here to say we deal with those facts. Similarly, in this case, the prior history will be worked up. We'll be made aware of that through the reports that these individuals will be filing with us. We'll take that into consideration as well, but we're going to deal with the crime that was committed.
Is there any history that you can comment on involving this couple?
I'm not going to comment on that.
This is what can be called a teachable moment. People, if they see something that looks unusual or leading to domestic violence, should they be silent? Should they call you? Should they call somebody to try and get some help from somebody or themselves?
They absolutely should. They should call law enforcement. They should call 911. They should call my victim advocates. They should call my office. They should call someone and report instances where abuse or domestic violence is suspected. Anyone who values human life should do that.
Error on the side of caution?
Yes, absolutely.
Thanks.
Is anybody else from the law enforcement? We have about 20 different law enforcement personnel that were involved in this in one way or another. I don't know if any of them want to make any comments. Certainly want to give them the opportunity to do so. Thank you very much. This concludes the news conference.